Alright, here we go with a tutorial for the Orc Mek Shokk Attack gun. Big Mek with Shokk Attack gun. Here it is, rotating around, all finished. I'll show you some of the steps along the way. Let's kind of quickly run through them all. A bit of a closer look. There'll be slower versions of these rotating videos at the end of the tutorial, along with all the painting guides and still images of it. The still images and whatnot will be on my blog as well. Okay, so I started out with a black spray paint. I put everything on toothpicks there just to make sure I got everything sprayed nicely. And there's all the base coats, what it looks like. So it looks pretty crummy with just flat colors. So I base coated everything according to the painting guide I'm showing at the end and on my blog. And now I'm putting on all of the washes. So I like to do, especially for characters, I like to do all the base colors and then the washes in one go, mostly because it makes sure I don't miss any areas and have to go back and touch anything up. The washes are a bit more forgiving than going back and doing layers and all that sort of thing. So they end up making everything a bit darker. So it doesn't really matter if you get overlap a bit. So there's what it looks like with all the washes. Same basic idea, but everything is just a little bit darker. So now I'm taking off the paper clips and I assembled everything, thinking that if I can't reach it, well, at least it'll be the darkest shade and that'll be fine. So then I put the basing material on there, which is sand painted brown. And then I'm going to be highlighting up. So I'm kind of line highlighting the black with dark Reaper here. So going around all the black areas in the gun and whatnot and trying to get a bit of line highlights on there. I'm not worried about being super accurate, but just trying to stay within the black areas. Taking Iron Breaker now and going around all the edges of the silver, trying to highlight that up as if it's kind of worn shiny again. And that's all the silver I'm going to bother with. Then I'm doing the Thunderhawk oxide stuff. So this is the sort of the patina, and it's going on all of the brass colors. And the idea here is that they'll all be sort of a bronzy type of a thing. And I really like how that the turquoise kind of brings out an extra color and everything. So there you can see what it looks like with all the patina done. Adding on some wag flesh and then war boss green layers onto the flesh here. So that helps bring everything up nicely. I'm going to be spending a bit more time with each of the colors than I would with the regular troops, just because this is a HQ choice and it's going to look a lot better on the tabletop. So Hashoot copper over top of all of the patina stuff. So what this does is it looks like the copper sort of wearing through on all of the raised bits and just helps bring it out again a bit. Okay, so for the warp whatever these things are around the front of the Shokk Attack gun, I'm using Sotek green and those sort of turquoisey colors all the way through to make it look as though it's glowing and sort of lightning bolts and stuff in there. And so just kind of doing a bit of freehand on the globes and highlighting up those trailing bits. Averland Sunset on the tubing here. The one on the GW site is sort of a hazard stripes on it. I didn't bother doing that, just a bit too much work. So I had thought I was going to do it black and then add the stripes later, but that's why I'm kind of redoing a base coat at this point in the steps. Okay, Skarsnik green highlighting up on the flesh here. And that's kind of the base color for the Goblin as well, so he gets a highlight too. And then a bit of Kislev flesh highlighting on the top edges of things for the flesh here. That's kind of GW is starting to do that with some of their orcs, and so I thought I'd give it a try, see what it looked like. Continuing on the highlights of the warp orbs and with a bit of a temple guard blue there, and trying to bring out those lightning bolts. So just painting finer and finer lines on things is basically what I'm doing. The Baharath blue, this is the edge paint, so this again just another slightly lighter color, painting this towards the corners of things and trying to make those lightning bolts a bit finer. The crackly sort of a look there, and I'll be one last color of white at the end. Flash gets yellow, painting up highlights on those tubes. I apologize for my head getting in the way there, just trying out some different angles with the camera, and I'm going to fix that for next time. Okay, Thunderhawk blue, edge highlighting on all of the black areas, so just tiny edges, basically just focusing on the areas that you can actually see. Nurgling green for highlights on the Snotling here. Basically want to make sure he looks different from the main orc, and you can see his legs kind of fade into those bluey colors there as well. Okay, Doombull, Brown, and Karak Stone for the leather bits, and then Karak Stone is also for that tube there, the warp tube type thing, and it's going to get a Ushabti bone highlight, or is it Screaming Skull? Screaming Skull, I guess. Ushabti, I use that a bit on the teeth and that sort of thing. I skipped that step here. Okay, so Mephiston Red for all of the bright red areas, and then Evil Sun Scarlet for highlights on those. So the Mephiston kind of goes over everything, and the Evil Sun's just on the edges, as you can see there. Screaming Skull, so bringing out some of the edges on this as well. So just trying to make the texture a little bit more obvious, and just picking that out. And then, like I said, final highlight there, White Scar on those orbs. Some of the tubing and stuff I didn't really show because they, just 1 or 2 colors, so it's not a big deal. But basically just using the GW paints in their standard base shade highlight kind of a look. So here we are, all finished. A little bit slower rotation to see. And yeah, very cool model, very similar to the old Mek Shokk Attack gun, which was a very neat model, but kind of tricky to put together because it was originally metal and then fine cast. So yeah, there we are, a bit closer look on all the colors. So I did a Space Wolf gray tunic, like sort of the shirt, and the pants are more of a gray with the Skaven Blight Dinge kind of highlight. So a couple colors there I didn't show, some checkered patterns. I think I should probably do a tutorial on how to do checkers on orcs. It's not that hard once you get the hang of it. And there we go with all the colors. These images will be on my blog, so you can take a look at them, save them, or do whatever you want. And these still images will be there too, so you can get a closer look at all the details. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and be sure to check back lots of other orc stuff. I've been collecting orcs for many, many years, so really excited about this, this new release. And yeah, see you next time.